You're sitting at an airport. Planes are taking off every few minutes. Each one carries hundreds of passengers. Each ticket costs anywhere from $50 to $2,000. And you start thinking, this must be one of the most profitable businesses in the world. After all, you're selling the same seat over and over again every single day. But here's the reality. Airlines are one of the hardest, riskiest, and least profitable businesses you can own. And yet billions of people fly every year. So how does this industry actually work? And why do airlines make so little money, despite moving the entire world? Let's start with the obvious. Airlines make money by selling tickets. Simple, right? Not exactly. Because that ticket you bought might not even cover your cost. A typical commercial airplane can cost anywhere from $90 million to over $400 million. And that's just one plane. Major airlines don't own one or two. They own hundreds. Which means before you even fly your first passenger, you're already billions of dollars in debt. But it doesn't stop there. Planes don't just sit at the airport. They need pilots, cabin crew, maintenance teams, ground staff, engineers, all of them highly trained, all of them expensive. A single long-haul pilot can earn over $200,000 a year. Multiply that across thousands of employees, and your costs are already massive. Now let's talk about the biggest expense of all, fuel. Jet fuel alone can make up 20% to 40% of an airline's total costs. And here's the problem. You don't control the price. If oil prices spike, your entire business can suddenly become unprofitable overnight. You can't just double ticket prices instantly, because if you do, passengers will go to your competitors. Which brings us to the next problem, competition. Airlines don't operate in isolation. Every route you fly is likely being flown by multiple other airlines, and they're all fighting for the same passengers. So what do? They lower prices, sometimes below cost, just to fill seats, because an empty seat on a plane is lost money forever. Once that plane takes off, you can never sell that seat again. This creates a strange situation. Airlines are constantly balancing two things. Fill as many seats as possible. Keep ticket prices high enough to survive. And that's where things get complicated. You've probably noticed this before. Two people sitting next to each other paid completely different prices for the same flight. One paid $80. The other paid $400. Same seat, same plane. Why? Because airlines use something called dynamic pricing. They track demand, time before departure, booking patterns, even your browsing behavior, and adjust prices constantly. Their goal is simple: extract the maximum amount of money from every passenger. But even with all that optimization, most airlines still operate on razor-thin margins. In fact, the average airline profit margin is often around 2% to 5%. That means for every $100 you spend, they might keep just $2 to $5. Now think about the risk. A single bad year, a global crisis, or even a pandemic, and demand disappears overnight. Planes stop flying, revenue drops to near zero. But costs, they don't go away. You still have aircraft leases, staff salaries, maintenance, debt payments. This is exactly what happened during COVID-19. Airlines lost hundreds of billions of dollars, and many only survived because governments stepped in, which leads to an uncomfortable truth. Airlines are often too important to fail. They're part of national infrastructure. They connect countries, support tourism, enable global trade. So when they struggle, governments step in with bailouts, because letting them collapse would damage the entire economy. But even in normal times, airlines face constant challenges. Let's talk about delays. A delayed flight isn't just annoying for passengers. It's expensive, because one delay can trigger a chain reaction. Missed connections, crew overtime, airport penalties, rebooking costs, and suddenly, one small issue turns into thousands of dollars in losses. Then there's maintenance. Airplanes are incredibly complex machines, and they must be maintained to extremely high safety standards. Even a minor issue can ground an aircraft, which means no flights, no revenue, But costs continue. And here's another hidden problem. Airports. Airlines don't own most airports. They pay fees to use them. And these fees can be huge, including landing fees, gate fees, parking fees, passenger service charges. At major international airports, these costs can be enormous. So if costs are so high, how do airlines actually make money? The answer is, they don't rely on tickets alone. Modern airlines make a huge portion of their profit from ancillary revenue. That means everything extra you pay for, like checked baggage, seat selection, priority boarding, in-flight meals, extra legroom. Sometimes these extras generate more profit than the ticket itself. Low-cost airlines took this idea and pushed it even further. They stripped the experience down to the basics. Cheap ticket. Everything else? You pay for it. This model allows them to offer incredibly low base fares while still making money. But even that isn't enough. Airlines also use something called overbooking. They sell more tickets than there are seats. Why? Because they know some passengers won't show up. It's a calculated risk. If everyone shows up, they compensate a few passengers to take a later flight. But most of the time, it increases revenue. Now let's talk about one of the most interesting parts of the airline business: frequent flyer programs. At first, they seem like simple loyalty programs. Fly more, earn points, get rewards. But behind the scenes, they're incredibly powerful financial tools. Airlines sell miles to credit card companies, banks, partners. These companies then offer miles to customers as rewards. And airlines get paid up front. In fact, some airlines make billions just from selling miles, sometimes more than from flying passengers. Which means an airline isn't just a transportation business. It's also a financial business. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Not all routes are equal. Some routes are extremely profitable. Others lose money. Airlines carefully design their networks to balance this. They use a system called the hub and spoke model. Instead of flying directly between every city, they route passengers through central hubs. This allows them to fill more seats, increase efficiency, maximize aircraft usage. But it also creates dependency. If a major hub gets disrupted, the entire network suffers. And then there's time. Planes only make money when they're flying. Every minute on the ground is lost revenue. So airlines try to minimize turnaround time. Get passengers off, clean the plane, board new passengers, take off again. All in under an hour. Efficiency is everything, because small improvements scale massively, saving just a few minutes per flight across thousands of flights means millions of dollars saved. Now let's talk about something people rarely consider: depreciation. Planes lose value over time. Even though they last for decades, their value declines. And that affects the airline's financials. So airlines constantly make decisions: buy new planes or keep old ones, lease or own aircraft, expand routes or cut losses. Each decision carries risk. And then there's customer expectations. Passengers want cheap tickets, comfortable seats, on-time flights, good service. But delivering all of that is expensive. So airlines are constantly forced to compromise. That's why you see things like smaller seats, extra fees, strict baggage rules. It's not just greed, it's survival. Because at the end of the day, airlines operate in one of the toughest environments imaginable: high costs, low margins, extreme competition, unpredictable demand. And yet, the industry keeps growing. More people are flying than ever before. New airlines keep launching. Why? Because despite all the challenges, the scale is massive. Even a small profit margin on billions of passengers can still be worth it. But here's the final truth. Owning an airline isn't just about making money. It's about managing risk constantly, every single day. Fuel prices can change overnight. Weather can disrupt operations. Global events can shut down travel. Competition can destroy pricing. And you have to navigate all of it while keeping planes in the air. So next time you're on a flight, sitting in your seat, looking out the window, remember this. That plane isn't just flying through the sky. It's balancing one of the most complex business models in the world. And the question isn't just, can you make money owning an airline? The real question is, can you survive long enough to actually do it?